E-commerce expansion myths blasted. Successful cross-border expansion help. Listen to the show to hear how one UK company is helping e-commerce sellers successfully expand into Europe and double their profits. Hosted by Andy Hooper of Global E-Commerce Experts.
So welcome. Thank you very much for joining us on the part of the webinar series. This week we've got a great part of the webinar, which with the expansion series is about Pan-EU. So we're going to crack straight onto it. So thank you very much for joining us. Today's outcomes: Pan-EU, implications of Pan-EU, who should enable Pan-EU and why that might be a good fit for you, how to get started, and then questions at the end. Because we quite often get asked, when should I enable Pan-EU? When should I do this? And how does it work? Have I already enabled it? All of these things are absolutely critical to understand in order for your expansion. So we're going to go through it today. I'm your host today. My name's Andy Hooper. I'm from Global E-Commerce Experts, and this is part of our successful expansion to the EU webinar series. Thank you very much for joining us and giving up your valuable time. We do have an Expanders Facebook group where you can find us there as well. So please join that. #Expanders series. You know, we've successfully expanded over 2,000 sellers. So we're well placed to understand the exact requirements people need to know in order to expand successfully. We've looked at the data, we've looked at the insights, and I've been working in e-commerce for about 10 years. I started off selling silicone watches of all things on Amazon broadly 10 years ago. And then that sparked an interest, and we've escalated and developed that as we've gone on from there. Now today, I'm gladly assisted, or ably assisted, by one of our superb VAT specialists, Charlie. Charlie, you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Charlie, hi. Charlie, just give a little intro to yourself if you can, please.
Yeah, so as it says on the screen, I started working in e-commerce and VAT for about 3 years now, and I've been at GE the whole time, and it's been a really enjoyable experience, just expanding mainly US sellers into the European market, and just seeing, well, in my case, my clients grow and increase sales and enroll in the Pan-EU program like we're going to discuss today.
Excellent. Fantastic, Charlie. So this forms part of our success framework. So we've got the success pathway on the screen there. You can see we're almost at the end of the success framework here. We've done the compliance. We've launched our products. We've done the VAT in the UK, possibly Germany. We've got our labels compliant. We've set up payments. We've then gone on to launching the marketplace, Amazon or others. Don't forget there's other marketplaces out there that are just as critical. Here we've got our listing sorted. We've done some translations. We've started to promote the products. We've got adverts up and running. We've got vouchers. We've started using social to promote our products. And we've then moved on to building a website. We've got a website. We've chosen a platform. It says Shopify there. The other platforms are available. But you've built a platform around your website so you can start selling on your own. You're then building a list and focusing on your Dream 100 to get the right people to you. Now, at this point, we're probably at the stage where you're really starting to sell really well. You might be meeting distance selling thresholds that Charlie's going to cover. You might start thinking about actually getting your goods into the hands of people a lot quicker, again, which Charlie's going to go through in a second. And at this point, it's now a case of now I scale. Okay, so you're getting to the point where you've set up, you've launched, you've got everything set, you've started promoting, you're building your own list, and now's the key pivotal moment for you to scale that business. And by doing that, you're only going to be able to do that by getting registered in the other countries. And Charlie's going to talk us through that in a moment. Next week, we're going to move on to fulfillment, which we'll touch on at the end. Okay, Charlie, over to you.
Yes, so firstly, what is Pan-EU? So it is in relation to the countries involved in the Pan-EU program. So that involves countries such as UK, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Czech Republic, Poland, and most recently New Zealand. And basically these are all countries where Amazon have fulfillment centers. And Pan-EU refers to where there's a network of fulfillment centres getting your stock to your customers quicker based on anticipated demand. Andy, if you could please pull up the two diagrams, that'd be great. So a lot of people start on the EFN network, which is the European Fulfillment Network, whereby in what I've seen, people get registered in the UK first because it's mainly the easiest, and then they can fulfill to customers in the other EU countries such as Germany, Spain, France, and so on. And that works well and fine until they reach distance selling thresholds, which we'll discuss in a minute. And then they have to get registered in those countries, and in most cases have to enroll in the Pan-EU program. And the Pan-EU program is a great way to scale up your business and increase your sales. So it shows in that diagram there where you have your products all in the fulfillment centers around Europe, and that gets your products to your customers quicker. So firstly, we'll talk about who should enable Pan-EU. So if you are on the European Fulfillment Network, you may have exceeded distance selling thresholds. So that's where you're selling from the UK, fulfilling your products and orders from the UK, and you may have exceeded sales thresholds to each country. So I'll briefly go through the main ones. So Germany, which is the biggest marketplace in Europe, is 100,000 euros per year. And then for France, Italy, and Spain, it's 35,000 euros per year. And once you exceed those thresholds, you are then legally obliged to get VAT registered in those countries, and then start being compliant and filing your VAT returns. And once you start exceeding those thresholds, it's a good idea to enable Pan-EU because you're at a point where you're an established seller in Europe, and it'd be beneficial to your business to scale up. And also another thing to note is if you have stock in a country, you have to get VAT registered there as well. So you may expand to Europe and send your products to the UK and Germany as are the biggest marketplaces, and therefore you're liable to get VAT registered in those two countries. So it's all dependent on your situation. Another thing to note is if you're an established seller, so you may be a US seller selling extremely well in the US, having a really good strong sales per year, 100 million a year and so on. And you may look at your sales and want to replicate that in the European Union and Europe. So you can go straight into Pan-EU. If you're an established business, you are likely to replicate those sales in the European Union and scale up quickly. So that'd be a good idea as well. And so what are the implications of Pan-EU once you've enabled it? As we previously mentioned, your inventory is closer to the consumers, so you get faster delivery with Amazon Prime and therefore happier customers. And Amazon has also released information that when they first ran the Pan-EU program, sellers reported up to 30% an increase in sales. So as I previously mentioned about increasing and scaling up your business is a sort of extremely good way if you're established and you are sure that your sales will do well in each country. And then lastly, you also save some money in terms of fulfillment fees because it takes only the domestic fees that are applied. To the next slide, please.
Oh, Charlie, you there? You cut out for a moment.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I've got you.
Okay.
Okay, you're back. Just say that last little bit again.
Yeah, so in terms of fulfillment fees, you will save a lot of money as well. So Amazon have said that you can save up to 50% in fulfillment fees, and because the domestic fees are applied rather than the sole country you're fulfilling from. And then on the flip side, you have to get VAT registered in each country beforehand before enabling Pan-EU. So that is obviously quite costly and time consuming. So VAT registrations in each country. It varies in terms of time frame and cost. So for the UK and Italy, they're usually the quickest ones. You can get your VAT number within a month, but then in terms of Spain, where a lot more documentation is needed, it could take up to 6 months. And usually Italy, Czech Republic, Poland, Germany is around the middle. So it'll take 2 to 4 months in general. And with that, once you're VAT registered, you have to be compliant in terms of getting your filings done in a timely manner. And with that, you have to note that there's different filing frequencies for each country and also different deadlines. So Germany, as an example, they're filed monthly VAT returns and 1 annual, and it's the quickest turnaround. So your transaction reports are available to download on the 3rd of the month. However, you have a week to get that to your agent, and then they can then file the VAT return, and your payment has to be to the government by the 10th. So that's a week turnaround. And on the flip side, you have the UK, where it's a month and 7 days to get all your VAT returns filed and paid. So if you need any information about this, you can contact us and we'll go through it in more depth. And lastly, just how you get started. I previously mentioned, first you have to get VAT registered. That's the first step to get ready for Pan-EU. And then it's as simple as pressing a button on Amazon. So you go to your Seller Central, go to settings, and then on the drop down, it will say fulfillment by Amazon. You click on that, and then there's a screenshot there as an example. It will say enabled or disabled. Hopefully it'll say disabled, and then you can enable it. You may even have it enabled and not even realize, as it's as simple as clicking a button. And if so, please get in contact with us, because Amazon at that point would have distributed your products all around their fulfillment centers in Europe, and you'll be liable to get VAT registered in each of those countries because you have stock there. So if that is the case, please let us know and we'll be able to help you get started. And so is there any questions regarding Pan-EU?
That was great, Charlie. Well done. Great effort. Thank you very much. So let's just open it up for some questions. If anyone has any questions coming through. I think the key things to say on the Pan-EU, Charlie, just tell me if I'm wrong, but you know, what people really need to know is that, you know, when you're expanding and you want to accelerate your growth, then by being on the Pan-EU, you're going to be able to get your products in the hands of your customers a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to be able to have your products on Prime in all of those countries. You're going to have reduced fulfillment costs because it's not going to be sent from one location or one country to the other, which is definitely an advantage for sellers, without a shadow of a doubt. That's absolutely crucial. But I think the most important for me is doing it when it's right. Would you agree, Charlie? Do you think you're doing that too early?
Exactly. I've seen people come and register for VAT in the UK, and they haven't even sent their first shipment to the UK, and they want to enroll in the Pan-EU program. And it's, like I said, if you're an established seller, then yeah, go ahead and do it. It's a good idea. However, if you're not confident in getting your sales in the European and in Europe, it's not worth doing it. It's worth staying on the European fulfillment network and basically testing the market and seeing how your sales do first. And if you see that you're doing well in each country, then yeah, go ahead and get ready, enroll in the Pan-EU program, because the proof's in the pudding. So you can see that your sales are doing well and it's a good idea.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, great. All right, that's excellent. So if people want to register for VAT in those other countries, it's a relatively straightforward process, as you said. What would you say is one of the easier ones to start off with? So
it would be the UK and Italy in terms of ease of getting the documents and the speed. So in general terms, all you need is a passport copy in colour, secondary evidence, which is proof of your home address, i.e. like utility bills or mortgage statements and that sort of thing. You also would need your company and corporation documents. You would need, if you're UK VAT registered, you would need to provide your EOI number and VAT certificate. You would need a bank statement. And I believe that would be it. There are more things for each of the other countries, but I would say if you're looking just to register in a couple countries rather than the whole pan-EU, I would recommend registering in UK and Germany, as they're the biggest marketplaces, and that's where you'll see most of your sales.
I mean, that's a really key point, isn't it? That, you know, for the majority of our clients, they're looking to sell to the majority of Europe. The UK and Germany takes up 2/3 of the marketplace. So 66% almost of all sales that happen on Amazon are done in the UK and Germany. So by registering in the UK and Germany, you take 2/3 of the whole of European sales into your hands with just 2 countries. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, one thing to add is the dreaded word Brexit. With us, the UK leaving the European Union, there will most likely be the free movement of goods removed. So that would mean there will be taxes employed on goods moving from the UK to Germany, France, and Spain, and so on. So getting registered in a European Union country such as Germany would then cover your back, because you'll be able to fulfill to your UK customers from the UK and fulfill to European Union customers.
Oh, we lost you again there, Charlie, but I think we got the point. So nice. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so no more questions have come through, so thank you very much. So today we talked about what is Pan-EU. Pan-EU is where you get your products and they are put in fulfillment centres all over the Europe, nice and straightforward for you. You basically put them all into one country, and Amazon fulfills them for you. Absolutely amazing. They put them in the fulfillment centres, works really, really well. Charlie really, really clearly told you about the different implications of the Pan-EU, the pros and the cons. He told you about who should enable and how to get started. Certainly, if you're starting to meet the distance selling threshold, then you need to get in touch. If you are reaching the distance selling threshold and we're looking after your VAT, we'll be in touch with you, because obviously that's our due diligence and duty of care to you to make sure that you don't go above those thresholds, or if you are going above those thresholds, what you can do about that. So, so that's good. Now, next in the series is our final installment of this series, and we're going to be talking about fulfillment. When to use a fulfillment center, the pros, the cons, what to look for, and for us, it's really the final piece of the jigsaw. Now, there is another step that we haven't put in here, and that's getting into retail, that we will be bringing you very, very shortly. But that's it from us. Thank you very much for giving up your time. Charlie, thank you very much for helping us on this week's webinar series, so thank you. And if you want to get in touch, there's the details as usual and the usual social channels. So thank you very much, everyone. Have an amazing day, and we will be with you on another exciting installment in the near future.